So welcome to another video where I'm going to be answering one simple question, and that is how to invest $1,000 or £1,000 in the stock market. So if you have a grand to invest, then I'm going to show you the best options in my opinion, which will actually grow your money the quickest and most efficiently. So make sure you stick around to the end of this short video, as I'll be revealing my last investment, which happened to be £1,000. Now, since we've had all these restrictions applied on us due to the pandemic, we've not been able to spend the money that we usually would spend. So it's completely understandable why a lot of people have turned to investing. So investing $1,000 or £1,000 is a great way to put money aside, whilst also potentially making even more money from your investment. So what are the best things to invest in? Well, no doubt you've heard people mention Bitcoin as the best investment that you can make, and I don't entirely disagree with them because I actually own Bitcoin myself. However, if you're starting with a grand and you only have a grand, then investing in Bitcoin or crypto would be a dumb thing to do. Unless, of course, you don't mind losing it all. Again, I actually like Bitcoin and I invest in Bitcoin myself, and I will continue to do so over the coming months and years. However, it is extremely volatile. So if I just had £1,000 or $1,000 to invest, then I'd certainly be looking at something more proven and sustainable rather than something that's volatile like crypto. I also want something that would consistently increase over time, whilst also maybe providing us with a yearly return on an investment. Another thing that you should factor in is diversity. So with Bitcoin, you're only exposed to Bitcoin. So let's say you invested in a fund that had a number of different companies. Your £1,000 investment will be far more diversified than investing in one company or one type of crypto. Eggs in the basket and all that. So taking all this into account, I'd definitely be looking at funds, because funds are managed by people who are far more experienced and far more knowledgeable than we ever will be. It's their job to manage that fund, so they're continually monitoring it and they're always rebalancing their investments. Now, luckily for us, we can invest in these funds, which in turn invest in countless numbers of different companies. At this stage, with £1,000 or dollars, you really don't need to be investing in multiple funds, as one will be sufficient. And there are actually ETFs that cover all sectors and all industries around the world. And I do understand that it can be a bit of a minefield trying to select the right one. So here's my advice again. It makes sense to me that you hit that like button down there. I mean, it makes sense to me that we invest in companies that we feel will perform well in the future. Now, unless you've been living under a rock lately, you'll realise that it's quite apparent that technology is leading the way in pretty much everything. And it's apparent that our spending habits are shifting more towards online retail and online spending. And it's also apparent that the world leaders are all conjuring up plans to make the world a more environmentally friendly place. And we're heading towards a cashless society. So with a basic understanding of what's happening in the world, it would be a good idea to invest in digital payment entities such as Visa, PayPal, MasterCard, tech companies such as Microsoft, online retail companies such as Amazon. Now, we all buy things on Amazon, so enough said about that. There's also Tesla, there's also Alibaba, who actually supply most of the stuff we buy from Amazon from overseas, and that's another massive company with huge potential. There's also wind farms, solar and other renewable energies that all have a place in our futures. Come on, Jason, give me a solid fund to invest in. Okay, one option is the Vanguard ESG Developed World Cap Equity. And as you can see from this graph, this fund has performed consistently well over time and continues to rise at a healthy rate. And looking at the breakdown of the sectors which this fund invests in, we can see the three biggest are software and computer, technology, and pharmaceuticals and biotechnology. And as we've already agreed, you're going to hit the thumbs up button on this video. I mean, as we've agreed, these sectors offer us the best chance to future-proof our investments. And it's no surprise to see that this fund is continually growing. So let's look at the top 10 companies this fund currently holds. And no surprise to see the top 10 companies are all household names. We have Apple, Microsoft, Amazon, Facebook, Tesla. I mean, investing your $1,000 in this fund will give you exposure to the richest and most profitable companies in the world. And it will also give your money a great chance to grow, and it's pretty safe to say that none of these companies will be going bust anytime soon. So if you've had your ears closed for the last 5 minutes, check out the Vanguard ESG Developed World Equity Fund. I also want to mention a couple of other global growth funds because I believe these are a great place to put your money. The JP Morgan Global Emerging Markets. Now, this fund is well established and it focuses on companies that have a bigger potential to grow. Now, you may not have heard of most of these because the majority are within sectors that we have already mentioned, and they have exposure to many different countries, mainly China, Taiwan, Russia and South Korea. Now, I'd say it's a bit more risky than the Vanguard fund. However, it does have the potential to actually grow a lot faster and a lot higher than the Vanguard fund does. So you just have to weigh up your options as how safe would you like to invest. If you're willing to take a bit more of a risk to potentially give you a bigger return, then this JP Morgan fund could offer you a lot higher potential returns. And another one is the Ecofin Global Utilities and Infrastructure Trust. Now, this heavily consists of utility companies. So you're not so diversified when it comes to the different sectors. However, energy is something the whole world requires, and we always will require energy. So investing in a trust that holds a high number of the world's energy suppliers could be a very safe option to put your money, and hopefully these will continue to grow over the years. It's definitely certain that we'll always need energy, and I'm not talking about Red Bull. This trust is growing at a consistent rate, and it has the added bonus of paying a yearly dividend of 3.47%. So this means your money is actually making money each year as well as rising in capital appreciation. So maybe it's a good idea to put your grand on this energy trust. So at the start of the video, I mentioned that I would reveal what my latest investment was, which was £1,000. And that investment was in Bitcoin. So I know I've advised you not to invest in Bitcoin due to the volatility, and if you've only got $1,000 or pounds to invest in, then I'd probably stay away from it. So prior to this, my previous £1,000 investment was actually in a healthcare REIT, which I have actually done a video on before this, so if you want to check that out. And that was in the Impact Healthcare REIT. And I've also got recent investments in the HR Global Growth Fund. Now, if you've got an account with HR, then I definitely suggest you check out their Global Growth Fund, because since it started, I think it was last year or the year before, it's continually grown at a very good rate, and I'm definitely happy with my investment, and I'll continue to invest in that growth fund in the future. So yeah, there we have it, and that's my most recent investment. I hope you have a better idea now of where to invest your $1,000 or £1,000. And I just want to reiterate that I am not a financial advisor. The information which contained in this video is just my personal opinion and going from my own personal experiences through investing, and it shouldn't be taken as financial advice. So if you like the video, please be sure to hit the thumbs up button and drop us a comment below. And I'll be uploading more videos like this, so please don't forget to subscribe.